And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. All right, first pitch coming up. And on the mound in this one, Shota Imanaga.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
So now here's the Mets DH, Starling Marte. And that misses. So we're underway here in game 2.
First pitch, 7:05.
And there's a strike.
Well, this team was shut out in the previous game, and I'm really interested to see what do they talk about in that hitters meeting that's going to translate into the game and help them get on that scoreboard.
Check swing, and he went. And it's 1-2.
Well, coming off of a blowout loss in the previous game, this lineup can't try to do too much. They've just got to stay within themselves, take each pitch, each at-bat, one by one, and try to push runs across as often as possible.
Swing and a ball lifted in the air right field. He just missed it. And puts the squeeze on that one. And there's one down. Here's a Mets lineup now. This is a veteran-led lineup right here. A lot of players with plenty of experience, Singy.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Boog. These players have been around the game for a long time, and they may not have the flash that they once did, but they've got the wisdom to be able to understand different situations, be able to think with the opponent and sometimes in front of the opponent. And you always seem to see a team like this. They come to the ballpark, they know how to get down to business, and they understand what the job is at hand.
One out, base is empty. In the air, right side. Tucker should have it. Snags it for the second out.
Batting third, the right fielder, Juan
Soto now. He has, as they like to say.
Let me guess, Boog. Light tower power?
That's right. In for a strike. Went with the sweeper. Soto, a former home run derby champ, 26 years old, and he was born in the Dominican Republic. Two outs. Swing and a ground ball, and it goes just foul. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And the Mets go down 1-2-3. And now it'll be the Cubs' turn in a scoreless ball game. This is the National League Division Series on the show. And we're back. And starting this one, Kodai Senga.
Well, he comes at hitters with a 5-pitch mix, so for him, it's always interesting to see how he utilizes those weapons. He may lean on 1 or 2 pitches depending on how things are going and how things are working, but if he can control 4 or even 5 of those offerings, look out, hitters. It's going to be a tough day. He's really going to be able to keep those guys off balance.
Kelly Sullivan leading things off and takes a strike. Sullivan matched a homer in his last game.
That's a ball.
That one finds the zone, and the count 1-2. Line drive. He's got it, and there's one down. Time now for the Chicago Cubs lineup. And with their ace on the mound today, they're just looking to provide him a little bit of run support, and they'll see what they can do for him.
You have to be really careful when you've got a guy like this on the mound for you to not become a spectator. You know that he doesn't give up a whole lot, but sometimes guys get a little too comfortable and don't have an urgency to score runs. You have to make sure you put him in a situation where he can get the W, but also you guys can cruise to the finish line and not have to worry about a comeback in the end.
Swing and a ball ripped right field, and that one back, and that one is gone. He'll circle the bases. That's his 4th home run of the series. Just like that, they move in front. It's 1-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now. Power versus power right there, like two locomotives colliding. Who's going to win? Well, a really good job there by the hitter, getting the top hand working. Powers that fastball out of here.
Pete Crow Armstrong, the next Cub to hit. That's too low. Ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
High fly ball out towards left center. Nimmo ranging after it. Corrals it. 2 down.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
Tucker with a homer in his last game. Out to center. Siri in position. And that'll do it. 1 scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. It's an early 1-0 lead. You're watching the National League Division Series on the show. We're in the second game of this division series. Down to third baseman, Mark Vientos. The drama always heightened in the postseason, and it leads to some really special moments. And a foul ball.
Well, one special postseason memory for me, Boog, was facing Pedro Martinez, Game 5 of the ALDS in Oakland, and man, hit a double off the wall. Great feeling for a guy who would eventually go into the Hall of Fame. Well, I think that's a case of overthinking right there. He got 3 straight fastballs, looking in the 0-2 count just to pour it back.
Here's Pete Alonso. Fought off foul. Next offering is foul back. Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts. Off to a strong start, Singy, as he's punched out 3 of the first 5 he's faced.
Well, he's definitely minimizing contact. He can get the swing and miss when he needs it, but he'll also keep the defense fresh behind him, allowing some balls in play as well.
Francisco Lindor comes up to the plate. That one clips the outside corner. That's strike 1.
Hey, 7 straight strikes to start the frame. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
Pitches in for a strike, and the count is 0-2.
All right, there's number 8, 1 away.
Just missing there. Going to count 1-2.
Got close to the immaculate inning, and he just couldn't find the zone right there. When you think about it, 9 straight strikes, so tough to do.
Next
No,
offering
that's
is down low.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
And it remains 2-2.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. And he strikes out the side for the 2nd time today.
Impeccable command in that one. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. That's electric stuff out there on the mound.
Back here at Wrigley Field, here's the veteran shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson.
Swanson went off for 2 homers in his last game.
Ball.
Making the calls behind the plate in this one is Woody Keller.
Yeah, and Woody does a pretty good job back there, Boog. He's got a pretty fair strike zone most of the time. Maybe some inconsistency here.
Now this ball is well hit. This one's got a chance. And that one is going to go. He'll touch them all. That's his 3rd home run of the series. And they add a run. It's 2-0.
Pretty dangerous when you fall behind in the count 2-0. You've still got to try to find a way to keep that hitter off balance. Well, he wasn't able to do it there. The hitter did a nice job of turning that pitch around, not missing it in a hitter's count.
Here's Turner now. Ground ball left side. Gets to it with a slide to first. And that's a great play for the out.
We saw a few skills on display there for the out. Technique was great. Reaction time was there. And the slide was smooth. Watching that play come together was really fun.
And now the batter is Carson Kelly. He's a catcher by trade, but the DH here in this one. And that one fouled off. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. Going back, pulls it in on the warning track.
Batting it, the second baseman, Nico Horner.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's the second baseman, Nico Horner. In the air, out towards left center. Siri makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Cubs tack on another with a solo jack. It's now a 2-0 ball game. All set for the start of the inning. Here's the veteran outfielder, Brandon Nimmo. Shota back to work. There's the strike.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
Swing and a miss. That's the sweeper.
Well, this can be kind of frustrating for the hitting coach. Right now, this lineup seems to be swinging at everything.
Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Just missed. Another one. That's 5 straight strikeouts.
Well, right now he's in cruise control, autopilot, just dominating these hitters. It doesn't look like it's a fun at bat. And all of a sudden, you become in awe of this guy on the mound. Somebody's got to break this thing up. That's 5 straight strikeouts. Got to put a ball in play.
Francisco Alvarez now in the box. Comes up empty with a swing there. hit in the air, center field. Mena has this one sized up. Puts it away for the out. 2 away now. Two down, bases empty. Jose Siri up now for the Mets. Swing and a ball driven pretty well out towards left center. And that'll do it. 9 straight retired here to start the game. It's the Cubs 2 and the Mets nothing. Here at Wrigley Field, bottom of the inning. So up now for Chicago, John Birdie. Feels like it's less common today that you see a guy like this. The speed component, the contact component, but lack of power. Line to second, snagged on the bounce. Throws to first in time. Leadoff man retired here in the 3rd.
Now batting, the center fielder, Kelly Sullivan.
Stepping in, the long ball threat, Kelly Sullivan. I think when you contemplate him as a player, the first thing you think about is defense, and you think about that great arm.
I also think about the speed. If he can get on, that's going to give one more thing for that pitcher to think about. He just has to understand that his skill set is unique, and he's very valuable for any ball club. If he does that, he'll play a long time in this league.
Siri in position. Makes the catch for the out.
Now batting, catcher, Cody Sullivan.
Here's the catcher, Cody Sullivan. He's already homered in this game. Off the mark there. 1-0.
1-0.
And a big swing and a miss.
He's going to have to make sure that he stays patient because he is the focal point in that lineup. They're going to pitch him tough. They're going to pitch around him. And when he doesn't see other guys doing anything, what you can do is become a little too aggressive and chase out of the zone.
Popped up, foul territory behind the plate. Alvarez makes the grab, and that is that. 3 up, 3 down for him there. We head to the 4th inning now in game 2. It's the Cubs 2 and the Mets nothing. And welcome back to the ballpark. On to the 4th. Starling Marte up to hit. Marte, a former All-Star, 36 years old, and he's usually in the outfield. Today he's the DH. Fastball for a strike. And that skips in the dirt. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Swanson hauls it in, and there's 1 away.
Now batting, second baseman,
Jeff McNeil stands in. Flied to right his first time. And that one is lifted in the air. Tucker makes the play, and there's 2 down.
Now batting, the right fielder.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's Juan Soto. And first offering is fouled off. The Mets yet to pick up a hit here. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Quickly in an 0-2 count, you've got to figure out a way to shorten your path to the baseball. Put it in play somewhere, then you got a chance.
1-2.
Outside low, and a count 1-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. 2 down, nobody on. Here in game 2 of the NLDS. Hit in the air, left field. Crow Armstrong should have it. He's got it, and that'll end the inning. So 12 up, 12 down to begin the ball game. It's the Cubs 2 and the Mets nothing. Back here at the friendly confines, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the 4th, Pete Crow Armstrong. Swing and a high fly ball out towards right center field. Siri sizes this one up, and it's caught for the out.
Now batting, right fielder.
Here's Kyle Tucker. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Swung on, belted. That's back there. Onto the track, and he makes the catch.
Now batting, the shortstop.
2 down, bases empty. Now a chance for Dansby Swanson. He's already homered here in this one. Check swing, he held up, and it's 1-0. 2 outs, bases empty. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. And it's out of here. Another homer. His second home run of the game. And they tack on to their lead. It's 3-0.
That's exactly the pitch he was looking for. Crushes it and hits it out of the ballpark.
Turner climbs in on that right side. Grounded out his first time up. Just off the inside edge. Inside, and that's ball 2. Senga maybe a little less aggressive on the mound right now after that home run, Chris.
Yeah, it seems that way. You know, pitchers, they can come out, feel good, but then all of a sudden get touched up a little bit, and they start trying to throw instead of pitch. They're not trusting their stuff.
Makes the grab, and that's the inning. But the solo shot stretches their lead even further. It's now 3-0. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point. Slow curveball drops in for a strike. Swings through that one for strike 2.
0-2.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that's 6 Ks for him in this one.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher are on the same page right now.
Pete Alonso up now for the Mets. Struck out swinging his first time. And it's fouled away. Fights it off. He'll see another.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swings and blasts one deep to left center. Crow Armstrong ranges back. Gone. And they're on the board. It's 3-1.
That gives them hope they can pull off this comeback. They just need a few more swings like that, and they're back in business. Look at that. Pure reaction. Fastball up and in. Not an easy pitch to get to, but because it was just a reflex, he didn't have time to get long with this swing.
And now it's Frankie Lindor. He's 0 for 1. That one finds the zone, and that's strike one.
Boog, over 80% of his first pitches are strikes. If you're doing that, you can have a really good day out there on the mound.
And that's in for a strike. 0-2 now. Got him. Making 7 strikeouts for him.
Pretty much textbook pitching for the 3-pitch K right there. Jumped ahead 0-2 on 2 pitches he didn't want to go after at the plate. Then, knowing he's going to be a little more aggressive trying to protect, he expands just out of the zone where he couldn't do anything with it. He gets the strikeout and keeps the pitches thrown to a minimum. Very nice.
Here's Brandon Nimmo. And first offering is fouled off. 2 down, nobody on. He swings and fouls one off. Two down, base is empty, but 1 run across, and we're at the top of the 5th. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Kicks and fires. Got him looking. That's his 8th strikeout of the game. But not before they answer back with a solo home run. And this is now a 3-1 ball game. We're in the second game of this division series. And now the DH, Carson Kelly. Swing and a line drive. That's a base hit into center field. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Now batting, the second baseman,
Nico Horner will come up to hit. Fly to center his first time. He's 0 for 1. That misses the zone, and that's ball 1. Stirring in the bullpen for the Mets, Dedniel Nunez, the young right-hander, up and throwing. Buto warming up as well. There's a strike. Runner at first with no outs here. Hit in the air, left field. Nimmo brings it in, and there's 1 down. John Birdie at the plate. Rolled out to second in his first at bat. That is upstairs for ball 1. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a line drive, base hit out into center field. Just kind of sliced that one into center.
Hitting is really easy for some guys. One thing that I can see already, his bat stays in the zone on plane for an extended period of time. And guys like that, they have a high contact rate and they have more barrels because of that bat being on plane. And even when you don't get it great, it's still hit hard enough to dunk something in like that in front of the center fielder.
And now Kelly Sullivan swinging a foul back. That's out of play. 0-1. Slapped hard the other way, but foul. Kelly, the lead runner out at second. Birdie over at first with one away. Right back to the mound. Could be an easy two. Lindor, that's one. Over to first, safe.
Well, that's great hustle out of the box to get down the line, knowing that a double play will end the inning. Good job at the finish, reaching out for the bag. Now they got runners on the corners and still an opportunity to pick up some runs.
And up next for Chicago, Cody Sullivan. Pitch misses there, and that's ball one. Sullivan was crushing in his last game, hitting 3 home runs. Now a bullet to second base, but he's got it to end the inning. Cubs strand a couple, and the score stays 3-1. Top 6, and stepping in for New York, Francisco Alvarez. Hard hit, right side. Corner over to first. Now one gone in the top of the 6th.
Up next to the net, the center fielder, Jose Siri.
And now it's Jose Siri. Fly to center his first time. The Mets down by a pair here in game 2 of the NLDS. Swing and a ball hammered left field. Crow Armstrong ranges back, and that is gone. That one felt good. It's 3-2.
With a low 90s fastball, you have to live on the edges and hit your spots. If you don't, you'll get hit hard. Really good swing there. Patient, waited for it. It was like BP all over again.
Here's Starling Marte. 0 for 2 in this one. Manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. Shota Imanaga gives way. Only 2 hits allowed for him, so a great effort. And we'll be back after a quick break to tell you about the new arm.
Now pitching for the
Keegan Thompson takes over on the mound,
71.
and he has some nasty breaking stuff. There's a strike.
No ball. 1 strike. No, off the plate.
The 1-1 is fouled off. 1 out, base is empty, and a run in, and we're in the top half of the 6th. Got him swinging. Couldn't catch up to the heater.
The batter number
Jeff
1.
McNeil up now for the Mets.
Jeff McNeil.
And first offering is fouled off. Fastball for a strike at 95. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout. Mets do get one back, though, on the solo homer. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. So up now for Chicago, Pete Crow Armstrong. Senga back to work. Shortened a bunt and missed it. 0-1.
You know, these Cubs, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. They've hit 7 line drives already, and even though some of them have been for outs, there's nothing wrong with delivering consistent, hard contact. That's almost always going to lead to positive results.
Foul ball, still 0-2. And there's a ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Goes down swinging. Kodai Senga picks up the strikeout.
He's locked in at the plate when he's using the whole field. He was out in front there. Just needs to let the ball travel a little more, and his timing will be back on track. Good pitch for the strikeout.
High fly ball, pretty well struck out towards right center. To the warning track, makes the catch.
The batter, number 7, shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson stands in, and the way he's going in this one, we've been waiting for his spot to come around again.
All right, listen, everyone, stop what you're doing right now. This guy's got 2 home runs already. Now he's going for number 3.
Swing and a base hit. Joey gets on base and keeps it going.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride and load out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee.
And the batter will be Justin Turner. And that one cutting but missing down low.
Strike.
Base knock right field. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out.
Back-to-back base hits. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Kodai Senga is done, and he's not going to be happy with himself. New pitcher on the mound in a moment.
Now pitching for
The Mets with a new arm on the mound, Dedniel Nunez.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle and a base hit. Back-to-back singles. Play at the plate, not in time. He's safe. And they take a 2-run lead.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
Here's Nico Horner. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Well, with both starters out of the game, this quickly becomes a bullpen game, and this is something we see more and more in the game today, especially in the postseason.
Line drive, base hit. Headed for the plate. Now a long throw home. But it's offline, and they lead by 3.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. You'll often hear the phrase short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive in the center field.
John Birdie, the next Cub to hit. 1 for 2. And that drops in for a strike. Traffic on the bases with 2 already in to score here in the bottom of the 6th. To the right side, McNeil. In plenty of time to first. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand. So it's 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors and a couple left on. We head to the 7th now in game 2. It's the Cubs 5 and the Mets 2. New inning getting started. Leading off, Juan Soto. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter.
Some hitters are just more confident they can track that first pitch out of the hand of the pitcher. They don't care if they fall behind 0-1.
Hit on the ground to the right side. 1 up, 1 down.
If you want to be a great defense, you have to deliver consistently. It doesn't matter how many highlight reel plays you make if you can't execute the small stuff just like we saw.
So digging in, Mark Vientos, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. That one finds the zone. It's 0-1.
Well, with both starters out of this ball game, it now becomes a battle of the bullpens and just seeing which manager can match up better and who's able to get to the finish line.
And a foul ball. And a pop-up right side, foul territory. Hauls it in for the out.
Now batting, the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
2 outs, base is empty. Pete Alonso up now for the Mets. Right through there for a strike.
0-1.
2 down, nobody on. Here in the late stages of game 2. And foul ball. And the polar bear strikes out. Nothing doing for the Mets. They trail at 5-2.
Now pitching.
Here comes A.J. Minter to the mound.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Here's the Cubs leadoff man, Kelly Sullivan. 0 for 3 in this one. He's a guy, Chris, whose highlights include some of the best throws from the outfield that you will ever see. Definitely one of the best arms of the sport. High in the air, out to right. Soto going after it. Hauls it in for the out.
Almost a loud start to the inning on that first pitch, man. He's going to want that one back, no doubt.
Now the number 2 hitter, Cody Sullivan, known for his rocket arm behind the plate. On the ground to third, Vientos. To first, but it pulls him off the bag.
Well, I definitely think the speed down the line played a factor on that throw. He had more time than he thought, but as a fielder, the speed of the game and the speed of the runner sometimes can get in your head, and he just rushed it and failed to make a clean throw.
Man at first with 1 gone. And next for the Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong. 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a strikeout. At 96, that pitch is in for a strike.
No ball, 1 strike.
I love this part of the game. Does he really want to try and steal second against this catcher? I know he's fast, but it's pretty risky.
Minter keeping an eye on him. Minter, in his 8th season, he features a 4-seam fastball, a cutter, and he works in a changeup. Runner takes off. Pitch misses inside. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. Trying to bunt his way on. Picks it up with the bare hand in time. Got him.
Man, who doesn't love a sweet bare hand play like that? That's amazing.
Kyle Tucker, the next Cub to hit. 3 flyouts already. He's 0 for 3. Intentional walk here with 2 out. They set up a force at any base to end the inning.
Clearly didn't want to mess with them right there, so I think it makes sense to play the numbers game in this spot.
First and second, 2 outs. Swanson getting ready to hit. 3 for 3 with a pair of home runs and a single. Swing and a ball line to center. Base hit. They extend their lead as the runner scores from second. It's an RBI single, and they're up by 4.
Just a total nightmare for lefties. I'd be very surprised to see that matchup again. Everything was on time and fluid in that swing. Got a pitch you could get the barrel on and lined it into center for the knock. Those always feel good.
Here's Justin Turner. Check
No,
swing, no appeal. Swing, and that ball smashed down the line. And a base hit. Here's Tucker on his way to the plate. He'll score easily. And it's an RBI single. It's 7-2.
Picks himself up in RBI. A lot of hitters tell themselves, line drive over the infielder's head. That's what I'm trying to do. Just keep that approach simple. And right there, it was perfectly executed. On time with everything, and pulled it into the gap nicely.
And here comes the Mets manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. A.J. Minter departs, and the line not closed on him yet as he's responsible for the runners on base. Back with a new pitcher after this.
Now pitching.
Taking over on the mound for the Mets, Jose Butto.
Jose Butto.
So 2 down. Now it's the DH, Carson Kelly. That one hammered center field. That's back. And that will end the inning. So 2 runs on 2 base hits. An error, but 2 are left stranded. 8th inning coming up. It's the Cubs 7 and the Mets 2. Ready to begin the 8th. Here's Francisco Lindor. Close, but called the ball. Ball 1.
Good spot there, but didn't get the strike at the knees, and doesn't seem too convinced by the call out there on the mound as he tries to get a better sense of the umpire strike zone.
Nice grab. Not in time. Great effort, but it's an infield hit.
The effort was there with the jump throw. You gotta love it, but it just wasn't in time. Still a really impressive play just to get to that ball and make it close at first, and not every shortstop can even make that play.
Brandon Nimmo digs in now. Swings through that one for strike 1.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. The Cubbies leading by 5 here in game 2 of the NLDS. Swing and a miss, struck him out. He's notched 4 strikeouts now.
Good late cut for the strikeout there. That thing really got in on him. And, you know, the cutter isn't really a huge swing and miss pitch most of the time because it's not really meant to move a whole.
Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Keegan Thompson will depart. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound. Number 43 into the game.
Number 43. Luke Legoff.
Alvarez in now. Takes ball 1 off the plate.
It's a tough pitch, but in terms of the best pitch you're going to get to hit in the at-bat, that fastball was down enough where you're going to catch up to one. That's the one. When he elevates, guys aren't touched it.
Up and in, and it's 2-1. Steps off, checks the runner at first. And that one popped in the air, left field. Crow Armstrong should have it. He makes the grab. Out number 2. So 2 down now, and here is Jose Siri. A bit behind with that swing. It's strike one.
Cold night like tonight, last thing you want to do as a hitter is get jammed or even off the end. Trying to find that sweet spot on the bat. Tell you what, you're going to be trying to catch things out front, so off-speed pitches may be a good complement to that fastball.
Lindor off of first with 2 away. Cut on and missed, and it's a strikeout, and that is the inning. Mets strand 1, down 5. It's 7-2.
Now pitching.
Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th, Danny Young. And now it's going to be Nico Horner. It's amazing. We get a chance to talk to a lot of opposing managers. This guy scares managers on the other team as much as anyone.
And he gets to fly beneath the radar with the other more recognizable names in this lineup.
McNeil gets it to first. 1 up, 1 down.
Really nice job to get your first out of the ball game.
And up next for Chicago, John Birdie. 1 for 3. Chris, his skill set straight out of the mid-80s. Good contact, not much power, and he could run. He always uses the wheels to his advantage.
His biggest challenge in this day and age is to not get caught up in trying to hit home runs because so many people are.
Diving, gets down, could be extra bases. Around second now, going for 3. And he's got himself a triple.
Well, no waiting around right there. He was ready to swing it on the first pitch. Pitch was on the outside, didn't go the other way with it, but still a nice job of using the big part of the field to find a hole. No way he hits it that well if he hooks around the baseball there.
Kelly Sullivan, the next Cub to hit. Inside corner, and that's called a strike.
I think baseball's starting to understand that those guys are valuable like they once were. They need them in this game today.
Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Base hit and a run comes in. So man aboard, Cody Sullivan, the next to hit. Scorched to center, no doubt about it. That is long gone. Another homer. He's done it again. His second homer of the game. It's 10-2.
Wasn't fooled on the first pitch at all. He squared it up right away. Well, he went up there 0-0 looking to do damage. I think he had his sights set on that pitch. He went and got it and circled the bases.
And here comes the Mets manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Danny Young won't go any further tonight. And as he heads off, we'll step aside for a minute. Back with the new pitcher after this break. David Peterson on to pitch out of the pen here.
For the Mets, number 23, David Peterson.
1 out, base is empty. Now at the plate, Pete Crow Armstrong. 0 for 4, a couple of flyouts. He's also grounded out and struck out. Bunt attempt, but that goes foul. Lined, and that's a base hit. So a man aboard now with 1 away. Kyle Tucker, the next Cub to hit. Swing and a ball drilled center field. 2 down.
Now batting,
So up now for Chicago, Dansby Swanson. And that's a little bit high. 1-0.
Well, if he's going to steal second, you want him to go early in the count. That way he's not a distraction to the hitter at the plate. Go ahead and get it out of the...
Runner on the move. And there's a fly ball deep right field. And no one can get there. Throw cut off to second. But he's in there easily. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
So 2 on with 2 away. And next for the Cubs, Justin Turner. Hit in the air, right field. Soto settles under it and makes the catch. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. Cubs had 2 on this homer. Last chance coming up here for the Mets. And we're back. All set to start the 9th in this one. And now the DH, Starling Marte. He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1.
From a pitcher's perspective, that's a beautiful splitter right there. As a hitter, you don't like it, but he's commanded his fastball, and out of that same tunnel, that splitter comes, and the bottom just falls out of it.
That's inside.
He's great hitting the ball the other way, and that pitch did a good job to straighten him up a bit. Mission accomplished.
And a swing and a miss. And a strikeout for the first out here in the 9th.
With that kind of velocity and elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
McNeil now at the plate as he swings through strike 1.
1 strike.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
0-2.
Base is empty, 1 away. Here in the late stages of game 2. Swings and misses. And they're down to their last out.
Dominating strikeout there on just 3 pitches, and that's what a good power pitcher can do to you. If he's hitting his spots, filling up the strike zone, sometimes he bats over before it really begins.
Fouls one off out of play, back to our left.
Hey, 7 straight strikes to start the frame. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
The 0-1. That one pushed foul out of play off to the left. The Mets down to their final strike. A little bit high. Now 1-2.
That turns out to be a really good take right there, but you don't want to end this game with the bat on your shoulder.
Close, but called a ball. And the count is 2-2.
Caught a break right there. Pretty good pitch on the outside corner.
Stays alive. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that is the ball game.
This is what you call taking care of business. When you've got home field advantage and you win the first 2 games of the series, that's what you come to the ballpark to do. They've worked hard to get to this point. Now they're in the driver's seat. We'll see how they do once this series continues. But so far, they've set the tone.